I love Coach Cohen and the whole staff and everyone that's in, all the guys that were brought in free agency, just good dudes, good players too. But I really feel like we've done some great things this offseason.
Adding people who are intangibly rich. And Travis, in fact, as a player, is rare. But as a person, he's also rare.
Gets away from one, and superhuman pick from Travis Hunter. Put the cape on him already.
I think he has a great career ahead of him on both sides of the ball. If he's the best DB, is he the best wide receiver? Who knows? But is he a great playmaker on both sides of the ball? Yeah. Yes, he is. And at the end of the day, when you're a team like, us right now, who's in that stage of we have to get it right now. We need the best playmakers on the field at all times. And if he can give you that value, let's do it.
We need to go win football games. And right now, am I optimistic? Absolutely. But I'm also realistic. Like, hey, let's not break our arms, patting ourselves in the back, how great things are going right now. Because ultimately, it's about winning football games, and that's what we're focused on.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, let's get down to business, baby. It is game week around these parts, and yes, it's only a preseason game, but nonetheless, Liam Cohen and his Chargers will make the Liam Cohen era debut on Saturday night. We had the mock game on Friday. Got plenty of thoughts on that and reflections. Good morning, everybody. This is Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey along with Tony Smith. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning.
How's your weekend?
It was good.
Yeah? Anything? What's the highlight of your weekend?
The team of the South is also undefeated in Tennessee, I suppose would be the theme of the weekend. They played the game up in Bristol. In the middle of a miserable Braves season, they're undefeated in the state of Tennessee. So,
excellent.
Yeah.
All right. I did not know that was happening. But, I guess I did. I saw the...
Yeah, it got rained out on Saturday, so they didn't play it till Sunday.
Yeah, Dylan showed me the pictures of the sight lines that were less than impressive.
Yeah.
If you wanted to actually see home plate in that game. But my highlight was Denmark texting me yesterday, hey, I just pulled into the parking lot. And... I'm like, well, that's coincidental. So did I. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, there are a lot of white trucks in the parking lot of the golf club. So I'll just go in. I'll get checked in. I'll come back out. I'll get a cart and we'll load up and go from there. Dylan had arrived at the wrong golf course in the wrong city.
Oh, no.
Okay. Denmark. Somehow we got our wires crossed.
Yeah.
We had been talking about Grand Cypress, and we settled, I thought, on Grand Reserve. One's in Orlando, one's in Bunnell. So Denmark hopped in the truck, and he hauled butt, and we teed off about, 50 minutes late. But that's okay. We got it in. We beat the rain, man. They thought we were going to get rained out, Denmark. We did not get rained out.
Oh, there was rain on the way back, though.
Oh, there was tons of rain. I got torrential rain on the way to my house, man, in that little 30-minute drive. Yeah, so it absolutely, there was plenty of it out there, but that was enjoyable. All right, we got plenty to get to today. Yeah. All right, we want to hit the ground running. Got a little bit of a new break schedule, you may notice. So we're going to hit that first break coming up in just a few minutes. Mike DRock is going to join us on the other side. We're talking a lot of Trevor Lawrence today, Tony, and he put together an impressive showing with 3 touchdown passes. Granted, 1s versus 2s, but as I talked about with the drill, if he doesn't put up impressive numbers, we're killing him for not taking advantage of the second-team defense, right?
Sure, yeah.
So he went out there, he made plays. Brian Thomas heavily involved. Brenton Strange got in the end zone. Travis Hunter got his feet wet. But overall, Trevor played well. The head coach praised him, and most observers felt that Trevor had a night.
Yeah, the 1v1s late. Like the last series, I think all the ones were out on the field. Hunter was playing defense, right, in that circumstance, and that's the one that ended with the interception. I thought it was interesting listening to the broadcast. I was listening to Frank and Jeff talking about it as it was going on, and Jeff mentioned specifically that typically in those situations, the coach goes to the quarterback to talk to him about what happened. That's not where the coach went first after that play. He went to Strange first, which gives you an indication that something happened with communication on who was supposed to be where on that particular play that led to the interception, perhaps in that moment. But yeah, Trevor had a really good night on Friday.
All right, well, we're going to ask about your expectations today for Trevor Lawrence. And, coming off of that's a good building block as we move towards the regular season. It's not the be-all, end-all of the preseason even. But let's get Liam Cohen's thoughts on how the first in-stadium scrimmage went under his tutelage.
I thought there was a lot of explosive plays. Guys made plays, had made some contested catches that we hadn't really been making at times. Ton of explosives on both sides. Had the interception, obviously, with J. Lou. Great play. I just thought it was cool to see all groups make a play, make some sort of a play. Guys, I thought it was well executed for the most part. Had some false starts, couple holds. It wasn't perfect, but thought it was a good start.
Yeah, De'Ami Brown apparently played well as well, and through the eyes of Liam Cohen. He'll talk about that later. You'll hear that coming up, but just want to kind of set the table here. We heard a lot about this in the offseason, OTAs, minicamps. Man, like De'Ami Brown looks big, a big part of the offense. He's making plays down the field. It's been a slow start to that in training camp, the big explosive plays. So for this to show up in this setting, I think made everybody happy.
No doubt about it. Coach Cohen was also asked about what he just saw in general from the passing game on Friday night.
Really up until tonight, it was like I had a little bit more just general confidence not confidence, but we were running the ball well on offense in general, kind of over the last 6 practices. And then tonight, just to see the pass game open up a little bit more and guys get out in space and, protect fairly well. So that was definitely something that I was pleased with seeing, because it really, not to say that it hasn't showed up, it's just hard sometimes in those controlled settings to always, when scripted, to be able to get those off.
All right, specifically Trevor Lawrence, that's going to be the main talking point today. I think the way he performed, and now, setting the table, we want to see him build on this, throw a strong week of practice, play well against Pittsburgh for the amount of time he may play in that game. Don't know how much that will be yet, and on throughout the preseason, but specifically Liam Cohen's impression of the way Lawrence performed.
I thought he was making sharp, fast decisions. The ball was getting driven constantly. I thought it was getting driven. He missed a few, for sure. He missed Travis down on the goal line behind when Ventrell made a great play, but that ball's got to be out in front. The interception's a tough one. Parker took a little long on the route. We had an out and a corner combination down here. The guy that had the out covered, fell off. He lobbed it in the back of the end zone. Just move on, progress, or throw it in the back of the end zone. But I just thought he made good, sharp decisions. He drove the ball. I thought he ran the show well. I thought it was a good night for him.
I think that decision-making, footwork's been a big part of it, but decision-making, quickly getting through his progressions has been a point of emphasis. Dan Graziano did a nice write-up about his time here, spending a day with the Jags in camp and his impressions of what Liam Cohen is trying to get accomplished with Trevor Lawrence, and just getting him to, when that first read's open, Trevor Lawrence is as good as anybody in the National Football League, but a lot of guys are, right? So can you get to that second, third, sometimes fourth read? And, just the mental sharpness is what you like to hear.
No doubt about it. One more here from Coach Cohen in this segment, then we'll get to Mike DRock, going to join us here in just a few moments. But one of the most eye-catching things that happened on Friday night was some of the stuff they did along the offensive line. Specifically, at one point during the scrimmage, they did move Anton from right tackle to left tackle during the scrimmage on Friday night, and Coach was asked about the reasons why they had Anton flipping from the right side to the left side.
Yeah, we were trying to mix and match with Cole being out. We got to figure out who our swing tackle is going to be for the short term right now. Specifically, we still have obviously competition going on at all spots, but specifically that position, we want to make sure that we're giving guys the opportunity to be on the right side and the left side. That's why Anton moved over there, so that we could kind of get a good evaluation of all those tackles being able to play on both sides, because you don't know which side they're best at, and they got to get good at both if they're going to be our swing tackle.
I feel like Liam Cohen's answering this in a couple of different ways, right? Like, you're trying to determine who your swing tackle is, so we moved Anton so these other guys like Fred Johnson can get a look at the right side. Couldn't you do that by leaving Walker Little in at left tackle, right? Wouldn't that have the same effect? Yeah. Like, do you have to move Anton? I think that, to me, that is definitely something to keep an eye on, Tone, because a lot of the, veteran former Jaguars that we talk to talk about Walker Little specifically. Lance Searcy's been harping on it. Needs to get more physical, more violent at the point of attack. Is this a sign that maybe they're open to flipping Anton to that side? We'll get into that with DRock coming up here in just a moment. Mike DRock from ESPN will join us. If you want to get in today, 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone line, same number for the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. YouTube virtual studio, and the chat is available to you. You can stream us on Twitter and Facebook, and hit us up at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at 1010XL Denmark.
We need to poo the hell out of that thing.
Absolutely. Today's question of the day, presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. You can vote one click at my Twitter handle. What are your expectations? What kind of season are you expecting from Trevor Lawrence in 2025? Pro Bowl. I don't mean like the fifth alternate. Pro Bowl, and I specifically put in parentheses, top 3 in the AFC. In other words, when the Pro Bowl team is announced, he's a Pro Bowl.
Having a Baker-type season.
Right. And not that, Mahomes withdrew and Josh Allen withdrew, and then this guy withdrew and that guy withdrew, and now Trevor Lawrence is a Pro Bowler. No, we're talking about earning that distinction as one of the top 3 in your conference. Next option, top 12 among all quarterbacks. Kind of roughly top 6 in your conference, but it could be weighted to one conference or the other. In other words, are you a top dozen quarterback in the NFL? Are you middle of the pack? I would define that as 13 to 20, right? If we're going to do top 12, you take the bottom 12 out of it and take that middle section, boom, there you go, 13 to 20. That's middle of the pack. Or do you think Trevor Lawrence will end up in the bottom third of quarterbacks? Roughly a third. We'll call it quarterback 21 or worse. And those are your options in the poll so far this morning at MD_1010XL. All right, Jags off the field today, and we'll be back out there tomorrow. DRock's got the day off, at least from watching a practice. He will join us coming up next with his preseason observations, particularly from the Friday night scrimmage in the stadium. This is Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Door Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. 1010XL is committed to getting you closer to your favorite players. That's why we send Jags beat reporter Hayes Carlyon to bring you back one-on-one interviews in the locker room. Unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through August 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Dreamfinders Homes Monday on Jaguars Today.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with all kinds of sports for kids ages 3 to 17. Fall and winter registration is open right now, like girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of co-ed programs in the Tri-County area to keep your kids active. And being part of a team creates great camaraderie and commitment. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay, sign up now for the fall and winter. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. That's i9sports.com.
Get the best soccer talk on the First Coast on the Coaches Show, presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warbert, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor discuss the beautiful game Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
The 2025 NFL season is just around the corner, and we can't wait for you to be back at the bank. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are starting off the preseason going head-to-head with the Pittsburgh Steelers Saturday, August 9th. Be at the bank as the Jags take the field for the first time this season, and grab your tickets for a 7 p.m. kickoff by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you soon, Jags fans.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save up to $800 on select smart beds. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, got a minute?
Always. What's on your mind?
This time of year, my air conditioner is running non-stop. Hot all day, hot all night. It has to run constantly just to keep up.
Well, that's what they do.
But if something happens to it in the middle of a 2-week heat wave, I'm in trouble, Jason. I can't wait 3 days or 2 days or even the next day for service. If you can't get someone here today, I'm sweating by tonight. What if it breaks, Jason?
You call me, pal. That's what we do. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
But you're probably swamped with calls from everyone else's AC that ran nonstop and then broke in a heat wave, so they called you because that's what you do.
But we always have room for an emergency. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we have techs standing by because we know these things happen.
So I don't need to worry. Wow. That time you calmed me down without even using the sunglasses.
Oh, I was reaching for them.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, it will not be long until DRock is back as our regular Thursday co-host. We're absolutely looking forward to that. Coming up, Mike DeRocco of ESPN covering your Jacksonville Jaguars, joining us now on the Checkmate Coatings hotline. Good morning, DRock. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Excellent. Excellent. I don't know if I'm as good as Trevor was feeling after Friday night, but by universal acclaim, Trevor Lawrence really performed quite well in the in-stadium scrimmage. What stood out to you from his performance?
Yeah, his decisiveness, I think, was the most important thing. And, they've worked on that footwork with him, too. Obviously, that's been a big thing that we've all talked about, especially starting in the spring into now. And, I tried to watch some of that as well. And, I'm not an expert or anything like that by any stretch of the imagination, but he looked more grounded throwing the ball. And I didn't see a lot of happy feet that sometimes you would see from him when things were kind of breaking down a little bit. So those were the things that were most impressive to me. I mean, obviously, his head coach, Liam Cohen, said he drove the ball really well. He put some throws in the right spots and stuff like that. But those other two things really stood out to me.
What kind of leash do you think Walker Little has at left tackle right now?
He's a starter right now. I don't think he's in jeopardy of losing his job at this point right now. They do need to find a swing tackle with Cole Van Lanen sort of being lost for the rest of camp. Anton Harrison, by the way, has to become more consistent. So if you said to me which one was more likely to not be the starter, I would probably say Anton, but I still don't think either one of those guys is really in jeopardy of losing their job going into, the start of the regular season.
So did it strike you as odd, DRock? I mean, Anton flips over to play the left side, and Fred Johnson comes in at right tackle, and Liam Cohen says, hey, we want to get a look at guys like Fred Johnson. I'm assuming he didn't use him by name, but at guys playing both sides so we can know if they could be our swing tackle. Because you could just, if you want to do that, you can just take Anton out and put Fred Johnson or anybody else in that spot to see how they look without necessarily flipping Anton over to the left side. I think that is making people question if they're looking at different combinations beyond just the swing tackle. What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, there may be some of that, but also what I take from it is if you look, this team, the important thing that they want out of their offensive linemen is some versatility. Mm-hmm. And, Anton's never played left. So they want to get him some looks at left to see that if there's a problem and Anton and say Walker Little does go down and they feel like Anton can handle left, then they slide Anton over to left, and then Fred Johnson can come in at right or Chuma Edoga can come in at right. I mean, they can flip guys around. They want to be able to have the flexibility to do that. And if I remember, we talked about this too, didn't we? Way back after Anton's rookie season, we thought, okay, the plan for them was he spends a year at right, and then they move him over to left, and he becomes the anchor left tackle for the next 10 years or so. So but he's just never spent any time over there in practice at all or anything. So they gave him some time in the scrimmage, and we'll see how that looks going forward during the practices and if he gets a lot more work over there.
How did Travis Hunter look, and what kind of impact did it have maybe on the team that you could recognize, if any, when he did flip from offense to defense on Friday night?
I think the offense is more effective when he's in there with De'Ami Brown and Brian Thomas Jr. I like that 3 wide receiver set, and you can see how he moves in space, and you can see how athletic he is, and that just opens things up for them so much more offensively. Defensively, it's kind of hard to tell, because they didn't really go at him, you know what I mean, in the scrimmage. He's had some practice times on defense as well. There's been some pass plays where he's gotten beat, and there's been some pass plays where he had pretty tight coverage. So the thing of it is I don't know. I still don't know yet, and nobody knows yet what exactly their plan is for him on defense still. I think that's still kind of evolving. What is he going to be? Is he going to be the starter on defense? And when they're in nickel, will he be the starter? I would absolutely expect him to be on the field as the starter. But what are they going to do in base? Is it definitely going to be Jordan Lewis on one side and Tyson Campbell on the other? He's just so athletic that you want to get him on the field. But I thought it was interesting that Liam Cohen said that you can kind of tell a little bit when he's on one side of the ball or the other, because he kind of brings a little bit more juice. There's just a little more juice offensively when he's in there on offense, and a little more juice defensively when he's in there on defense. So I think that's something that was really interesting to me. I mean, the kid just adds something, and sometimes you can, it's visible to those of us just watching, and sometimes it's really not.
Yeah, and those comments by Liam Cohen kind of indicated that we have a little of that on defense that's needed on offense, DRock. I think it's the simplified way of saying it is Travis Hunter might be a more natural corner, but I think they need him more on the offensive side. Now, obviously, they plan on playing him on both sides, and to what degree, but the need, I think, is greater for him on the offensive side right now. Brian Thomas had a big scrimmage on Friday with a couple of touchdowns, but you wrote how he was frustrated at practice yesterday, couldn't hook up with Trevor Lawrence in the red zone, kicked the football, had a drop. What kind of camp is he having overall, DRock?
It's about like what I saw from him last year, and that some good plays. You can see the athleticism, you can see the ability, and then just the inability to kind of finish some plays with Trevor Lawrence. And that's not all on Brian Thomas Jr., but by no stretch of the imagination. We know this kid's a fantastic player. He just didn't have a great start to camp last year. In the second half, once the joint practices came in, that's when you saw him really start to rise, and you're like, oh, this kid's a big-time player, or is going to be a big-time player. So I wouldn't read anything into it, that he's been frustrated or that he's not had, consistently elevated, where he's making 9 or 10 catches in practice on team 11-on-11 work. That's just not saying anything about the fact that I doubt that this kid's going to be a good player or he's in trouble of not duplicating that rookie season. No, I think he wants the football. He wants to make plays. He's proven that he can make plays. And then when it's just not able to work, he gets a little frustrated. Does he probably need to do a better job of hiding that? Yeah, maybe. But also, when you have big-time elite receivers, they want the ball all the time, and when it doesn't work out, they get frustrated. You look around the league, it happens all over the place. In a way, it's kind of a good thing.
Did anything stand out for you on the defensive side during the scrimmage on Friday?
Yeah, I thought Trayvon Walker was a monster all over the place. And Hines Allen, as well, was in there for a sack, maybe 2 sacks. Devin Lloyd had a blitz up the middle where it would have just been an absolute massive sack there. So, those 3 guys, the guys that we talked about at the beginning of camp about, they look so much slimmer, they drop the weight, they don't have to, they're not 20, 25 pounds heavier the way Ryan Nielsen wanted them. They're moving so much better. I mean, I think you can see that when you watch those guys. And Trayvon Walker, man, he's had a really, really good camp. I'm expecting a big season out of that kid. And, we've talked before about he could become the first player in franchise history to have 3 consecutive double-digit sack seasons. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to hit that this year.
Yeah, as long as he stays healthy, absolutely. Knock on wood. Mike DeRocco of ESPN. D-Rock, apparently Eric Armstead slimmed down so much I can't even see him when he's out there. Sore back now, we're finding out, for Eric Armstead, who's been doing some individual stuff but not participating in team drills and is having a nice, easy go of it so far in training camp. What do you make of Eric Armstead and the fact that the Jags just went out and brought in another defensive lineman?
Yeah, that says to me that this might be a lingering issue. And you never know with backs, as we've talked about with other guys before. I mean, you look at Devon Hamilton. Now, clearly that was a different kind of back injury, but he was still feeling the effects for, over a year in dealing with that. So I would be a little concerned if I were the Jaguars right now, but there's still, what do we got, over a month until the season opener, so there's still time. And he is a veteran. He doesn't generally need a ton of practice time to get ready, but the thing you're going to worry about if it continues to linger is, can he get back into football shape in time for the opener? How does that impact the way they use him? And are those other guys going to step up? Because that is probably the biggest question on the defensive side of the ball right now, is what is going to happen in the interior of that defensive line. You got Mason Smith on PUP as well. I mean, he should be coming off sometime soon.
Hopefully.
And, yeah, and look, all accounts were he had a great spring.
Yeah.
They loved what he looked like. And it was just, a minor setback. But, boy, if he gets in there and he starts dominating the way they were expecting him to, then it mitigates the loss a little bit. And Devon Hamilton's had a good camp, too. So I think there's some optimism that even if Armstead is a little bit banged up and it may take a while to get him on the field, that they will at least be okay with those two guys.
Have you gotten any clarity on any angle that we could take on the running back room to this point in camp or in the scrimmage?
I mean, it's clear that they love the undrafted guy, Jaquindon Jackson. They've got 5 guys they really like now. I did not expect them to be sitting at this point right now where we're going, who do you cut? You know what I mean? Because they like all of those guys. And, I mean, LaQuinn Allen has a bigger edge to him than I think we all thought. I mean, he's kind of gotten in some guys' face when they've gone contact with pads. Love seeing that out of a rookie. So, I don't know if you can read anything into who gets the first carries with the first team at this point anyway. But, man, those guys, that's a good problem to have. It's been a while since they've been in this situation where they feel like, holy cow, we got 4 or 5 guys that we really, really like, and we'd feel fine putting out there on game day. But I still don't think at this point you make any move to trade Travis Etienne, because I know that's what people are saying, trade Travis and get something else. Because, again, like we've talked about before, it's great to see him do it in camp. We haven't seen him do it in preseason at this point. So let's see how that shakes out before anybody starts really thinking about, well, maybe we could move Travis for somebody.
Well, let's hope that continues to be a good problem, right? They all stay healthy. They all perform well, and you've got to make some difficult decisions. And it's been a while since the Jags have been accustomed to cutting good players, really. That's
a good thing to have to be faced with that decision.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think people should view that as a bad thing.
It's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it really is. Look, if you have hard decisions to make in terms of cutting guys, but not because you're like, oh, my gosh, this is the best of the worst. But it's more of, oh, my gosh, man, we're letting a good player go because we just have X number of guys ahead of them that are as good or better. It's a good thing. Trust me, it's a good thing.
All right. Mike DeRocco is a great thing, and we look forward to, I think, about 2.5 weeks, D-Rock, is the goal to have you back into, once the camp settles down and and we get ready to march into the regular season once again with you as a full-fledged member of the Jaguars Today broadcast crew. So we appreciate your observations today. We'll see you out at practice tomorrow, man.
Absolutely. I'm already planning the first breakfast to bring in. Do we wait? Do I bring it in the first day, or do I wait until the first week of Breakfast Bowl?
First week of the Breakfast Bowl. So you got a little time to save your pennies.
When we draft,
Yeah, absolutely. All right, DRock, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.
Thank you, buddy. At ESPN DeRocco is where you'll find Mike DeRocco on Twitter, and, of course, in the digital pages of ESPN.com, covering your Jacksonville Jaguars. Thoughts on what DRock had to say when we return in a moment. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Apex Roofing and Contracting. They're local right here in Jacksonville Beach, and they're going to take great care of you. They're not fly-by-night. You're not going to have them come knock on your door after the hurricane. No, you go to Apex because you know that if your roof has damage, if it leaks, if it's just plain worn out, Apex will take care of you. Local, dependable. They're going to show up on time with only premium materials and ironclad warranties. And yes, full financing is available. Check them out. Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach, online at apexroofingfl.com.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Jaguars Today.
You're settled into a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
When your plumbing backs up, your septic's acting shady, or your AC quits on a 95-degree day, who are you going to call? Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Don't take just our word for it. Here's what real customers are saying about their experience with our company.
Megan in the office was so helpful and polite. Scheduling was easy, and the tech showed up right on time.
From plumbing and septic to air conditioning, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
The Coke Zero Sugar 400 returns as the NASCAR Cup Series regular season finale. Answer this question for a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400, August 23rd. Who has the most victories in the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010. Who has the most victories in the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010 for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
If a birthday or an anniversary is looming in your future, take care of it today by ordering a floral arrangement online at CuneFlowers.com. Hi, Flying Jacko here. Take it from me. An arrangement from Cune Flowers works like magic.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World.
Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business. Window World, simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, we roll on here on 1010XL Jaguars Today. Your question of the day, specifically expectations for Trevor Lawrence. And right now, admittedly, in a feel-good spot, coming off a big performance on Friday night. Tony, 3 touchdowns. He did throw the interception, but was generally everything, from the coaching staff to everyone who observed it, very decisive, was able to get through his reads. The footwork looked good. He didn't look shaky, drove the ball downfield, made some big plays. So a lot to like. Granted, it's only a, ones versus twos mock game or scrimmage, 5 weeks out from the NFL season. So we get it. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it's a good stepping stone in the right direction. So we're asking today, Trevor Lawrence, top 3 in the AFC, meaning he actually earns Pro Bowl on the first go-round, right? Not getting in as an alternate. Or is he top 12 among all quarterbacks in the league, which I think that's a great spot to be, quite frankly. You look at the depth of quarterback play in the National Football League, at least at the top end, you can find a half dozen of them. You go, I don't know what the hell you're going to get out of these guys. But the top end is loaded. Is he more middle of the pack to you or your expectations, meaning somewhere in that 13 to 20 range, or is he somewhere in the 20s, in the bottom third of quarterbacks? And by the way, the trolls have not found this poll. Literally, like if I'm doing the math right on this, there's literally one person voted for in the bottom third of quarterbacks, and that's it out of about 250 votes. So that's encouraging.
Or even the trolls are being enlightened, maybe a little bit.
Or we're just all happy, joy, and we get all excited about jag on jag violence, right?
Yeah, it's a little interesting to see. You can already see teams across the league that are making the announcements about who is or isn't playing at quarterback. Right, in the first week of the preseason, that's starting to come out now with everybody playing this week. And I'm curious to see how Liam Cohen wants to deal with that, right? Like with it being a new offense, they're installing all this stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if week 3, after having a couple days of practicing against Miami, if they say nobody plays.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, like that's the expectation for that. But here in these first couple weeks, exactly how much he wants to get all these guys on the field together, against an opponent that it's not afraid to hit him hard.
Right.
Like that kind of I'm curious to see how much he wants to be willing to risk exposing his guys a little bit here in the first couple weeks of the preseason just to get them the time on task on field doing this.
There's always a risk, right? Again, you kill them when those guys get hurt in the preseason, but if they're not ready out of the gates, you kill them for that as well. So just do what you think is the best and keep your fingers crossed, man. I mean, guys go down. It's a fact of life in the National Football League. I think they need to play in a new system to some degree to give themselves a good feeling as a springboard into the year. Even if they don't play in that third one, Tone, that's multiple weeks, right? Because you go from the second game, you go next week is preseason game 3. The next week they're off. And so it's a 3-week break from really on field when you would debut against Carolina. One thing that is apparently clicking is the edge rush room right now. Trayvon Walker, Josh Hines-Allen continue to show up and show out. And Liam Cohen spoke on Friday on how he felt the pass rush performed.
I thought I felt it. You definitely felt it. We were chipping. We were trying to help, and, it was getting home. We definitely felt it. He wasn't pressuring much either. This was being played kind of like a Pro Bowl from a scheme standpoint, specifically on defense, just trying to let them go get lined up and go play. So he was only bringing really single backer pressure. And then in the red zone, he brought the 1-0. But so you guys didn't see any of the blitz packages or any of that stuff, which was nice for nobody to see.
Yeah, I would hope not, right? I mean, come on, they're not going to go crazy. Hey, let's mix this all up and
Probably
see if we can't
see that in the
confuse Nick
preseason
Mullins.
either. Yeah.
But no, Trayvon, there's been a drumbeat with Trayvon, right? And that's the thing where I'm not ready to get worried about Walker a little because he can't block Trayvon Walker. Apparently, nobody's blocking Trayvon Walker at this stage of training camp, not in a one-on-one type setting. Now, again, is that because we don't have guys good enough to get the job done, or is that because Trayvon Walker's ready to continue his ascent to be one of the better pass rushers in the National Football League? Hard to know.
Feels like a little bit of both. You can choose which side of that you think it more is, right? At this point, the options are open. Also, one of the guys, obviously, we asked DRock about this a moment ago, Travis Hunter, played on both sides of the ball on Friday night. Coach Cohen was asked about what he saw from the first-round pick.
Yeah, you guys saw it. Pretty cool in space, isn't he? So, I thought it was great. We got him the work that we wanted to get with him on offense early on, and then able to get him on defense and get him enough reps. That was what we were hoping to do tonight in terms of just get him on both sides of the ball, quality work. I know he doesn't get much because of the 1D line was getting a good rush, so it was a little hard to see. But I thought when he had the ball in his hands and he operated at a high level.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I want to see. Here's what I want to see against Pittsburgh. Line him up against DK Metcalf, right? I don't know how long DK Metcalf's going to play in this game. Let's see. I want Aaron Rodgers to attack if Aaron Rodgers even plays. I assume he's going to play. New offense, right? Maybe a series, whatever.
We'll see, yeah.
I want Travis Hunter. He's not getting the ball thrown at him because you can't manufacture that necessarily, right? You can't force somebody to throw at your guy. I want him to see a few balls coming his way. Not like he hasn't defended passes before in his life. He is a cornerback by trade.
We just want to watch it.
I just want to, right. Yeah. I want him to get those high-level reps, and I hope we get that opportunity to see that on Saturday night. A little bit more from William Cohen coming up, but we'll also transition to Anthony Campanile, who spoke after the scrimmage and how his defensive charges do. We'll get it through the eyes of the Jaguars defensive coordinator. If you want to get in today, 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Rubbings Racing.
Trouble off turn number 2. A couple of cars spin. Kyle Busch is one of them.
This Sunday at Watkins Glen. Powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
Dreamfinders Homes Monday.
Jaguars Today.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, when a customer goes to buy a diamond, how do they know what they are getting?
Frank, that's a good question because what they know comes from the assurances given by the seller, and they can only judge based on the knowledge and reputation of the selling store. Now, over the last 25 years, I've seen some customers misled, and unfortunately, Underwoods was the bearer of bad news too many times. In the 1980s, we saw diamonds brought in with exaggerated grades and no laboratory grading reports. Then in the 90s, we saw some of the poorest cut diamonds ever, even though they had laboratory reports on weight, color, and clarity. Then the American Gem Society opened a laboratory and started grading diamonds for cut, and poorly cut diamonds got priced for what they were. Now we see diamonds from the internet and other places where diamonds are bought sight unseen with a lab report and a bogus appraisal. Unfortunately, not all those diamonds match the reports they're sold with, but how would a customer know? Probably today more than ever, the truest statement is, if you don't know diamonds, you better know a jeweler you can trust.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Triumph has branched off from on-road to off-road. Give us the latest on what they've got.
They've got the 250 and the 450. Rick Carmichael designed these bikes himself, and they are bad to the bone.
So you're talking about a really cool effect from a bike off-road that Triumph had on-road forever.
It is, and it's out there winning races, and it is fun to ride.
Check it out, Cycles of Jacksonville, their showroom on Atlantic near Regency, or online on their Facebook page.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
He used to cover the Jags. Now he's a CBS Sports senior NFL writer.
Well, I believe he got everybody's attention.
He's Pete Prisco. Friday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Circa Resort and Casino has 2 epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Circa Million, pick 5 games weekly against the spread for $1 million grand prize. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins $15 million. Enter at any Circa in Nevada, play anywhere. Sign up for either and get 50% off a 2-night stay. Helmets and Heels will be live from Circa in Vegas on August 22nd. Full contest details at circasports.com and the 1010XL homepage.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
What is the busiest airport in the world?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport is the busiest airport in the world, serving over 100 million passengers.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, let's catch our breath here, Tony Smith, and let everyone know tomorrow, last day of open practice for Jaguar training camp, open to the public. Media can still get out there, certainly the rest of this week, I know. So we'll be out there doing the show tomorrow. They're going to wrap up pretty early. So
10:15, I think.
Yeah, like 10:15. I think John Shipley's going to swing by, say hello. We'll see who else we can grab out there and maybe get a player. We'll see how it all shakes down tomorrow. So we hope to see you out there at training camp. And then practice will be open to the media, I think, Wednesday and Thursday this week as well. Be on the field Saturday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It'll feel a lot more real then. And we'll be a month out from the start of the regular season, man. It is coming rapidly. All right, let's wrap up with some thoughts from the head coach. And again, we invite you to vote in today's poll your expectations for Trevor Lawrence for 2025. Top 3 in the AFC. In other words, he earns that when that Pro Bowl list first comes out, he's on that. That's pretty prestigious. All right, it's a pretty high-level deal. Top 12 among all quarterbacks in the NFL. All right, maybe he's like the Pro Bowl alternate category, something like that. Maybe not even, depending on how many guys withdraw. But you feel like, hey, you know what? He's pretty safely within the top dozen. Is he a middle-of-the-pack quarterback, like 13 to 20, or is he in the bottom third-ish? That's a little more than a third, but you get the idea. Somewhere kind of where, he's often languished, right? Sometimes he's been in that middle of the pack. At times, he's played at stretches like a top 12 quarterback. Yeah. Right? So can he put that all together and maintain over the course of a full season? Your expectations and thoughts on that at MD_1010XL on Twitter for a one-click feedback, please. All right, let's get a couple here of Liam Cohen and how he managed, right? Like, he saw what was going on out there, but yeah, and he did say he spent some time, Tony, with the offensive headset. He let Udinski do a little of it because he wanted to be around Campanile as he was calling the defense as well. It's a lot to take in. You're a first-time head coach, but play calling is your strong suit. Did everything seem sped up, though? Oftentimes that's the case. You're in that environment for the first time, clock's rolling. How did the game seem to flow to Liam Cohen?
This definitely felt fast. I actually looked up at one point, and it felt like we were kind of going for a while, and it was like 7:40. I was like, oh geez, like we still have a lot more plays to go through. So it was moving much faster, as you mentioned. So I do agree, like even for the guys, our 2-0 line, a lot of those guys are on the 3-0 line, they're dying. We're trying to get them more, a little bit more rest. Where you say those TV timeouts come in, the natural stoppages of play come in, it definitely slows it down, whereas tonight did feel a little fast.
Yeah, those TV timeouts, by the way, going to be very beneficial to a guy like Travis Hunter. Deion Sanders this weekend was talking about how, hey, don't forget, we played tempo. Like, we forced tempo on guys. You can be a little bit more deliberate with him and save him a little bit that way. Most NFL teams won't play at that breakneck pace.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, right?
Like, I've always brought that up whenever we've talked about he played at altitude. I was like, yeah, he's playing college football where everything's lightning. Everything's lightning.
Fast.
And it's on offense and defense. You're on the field. That's all anyone does.
And look, what do they want to do on offense? They want to run the ball, right? Yeah. That's been consistent drumbeat from day one. What team doesn't want to run the ball? All right, I get it. But it works if they're successful running the ball.
Yeah.
Now you can control the tempo. You can control the pace. And you can control, you can get rest while you're actually kind of out there playing. You know what I mean? Like, you're not necessarily running Travis Hunter deep as a decoy on those plays, In fact, in some obvious run situations, I don't know if he'll even be on the field, right? He's not the biggest guy in terms of, like, certainly in short yardage. Who's he going to move?
Yeah.
Not too many guys, right? So, and you have plenty of other pass-catching options. So there are ways to kind of protect him within your own offensive structure.
No doubt. One more here from Coach Cohen from Friday night, who was asked, look, he is doing the head coach thing for the first time. He is still the guy that's calling plays, though, on the offensive side. So he was asked if he was able to spend enough time getting ready for this whole thing and coming out of it with Coach Camp on defense.
I only called the Grant's mic was cutting out. So I called the first and second group for the first, 6 drives, and then he took the rest. So I was able to be on the defensive side of the ball, hearing his communication with his staff, just hearing the communication to the players. I thought they did a nice job. With the exception of that one drive, the first defense did a pretty nice job, I thought, stopping the run and also getting some pass rush. I thought Jarian Jones had a good night tonight as well. But yeah, I thought their communication and operation on defense was clean as well.
Jarian getting shouted out again. Jarian's had a phenomenal offseason, really, right? And again, that's why you feel like, in part, because of the way Jordan Lewis is playing, the way Tyson Campbell is playing, and the way Jarian Jones is playing. Now, granted, in practice, but nevertheless, that's what you've got to judge it on. That, Travis Hunter, if you didn't have him on defense right now, you'd be like, we got a pretty decent shot at it, a pretty good unit there. Particularly if Buster Brown gets healthy. You wonder, with Levi Wallace being signed, Tony, is that an indication that maybe Monteric is going to be out for a while? And then they signed, who was it, Austin Johnson this morning, offensive lineman, who started like 55, 56 games.
Defensive lineman.
In the league. Sorry, did I say offensive lineman? Yeah. Defensive tackle is what he is.
Came into the league as a nose. He's been playing more 3-4 end here the last couple of years, but who knows?
Which in this scheme would likely be on the inside, right? Or a big end, I suppose, in certain situations, but adding a little bit of depth on the defensive line. Anthony Campanile, a couple of thoughts from him. We'll get more from the Jags defensive coordinator as things go along this morning. What were his overall thoughts on the scrimmage?
I think, like most scrimmages at this time of year, some real good, some not so good, some things that got to correct. We went in to correct, that we had to correct. But the most important thing coming out of that scrimmage for me was fundamentals. Run game fundamentals, pass coverage fundamentals, and pass rush. And are we coordinated? Are we doing things the way they're supposed to be done? Are we doing things the way we've been practicing them here for the last 2-3 weeks? So, like I said, work in progress, but definitely some good there and some really competitive moments for us on defense.
Just a lot of importance on the role of Anthony Campanile. It's obvious he's a coordinator level coach, so that goes without saying. But particularly when you got a first-time head coach who will be calling the offensive plays, that there's a lot, Campanile's you got to reach your point. I think if you're Liam Cohen, you're like, yeah, I'm responsible for everything, but I got to let him handle his business, right? You got to have that confidence that Campanile can take that weight on and take some of that burden off you on game day.
We know and have talked about throughout the entire offseason that Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker are the two best players on the defensive side of the ball for the football team. And there's been no indication that they haven't practiced that way here early on in camp. And Coach Camp was asked about the progress he's seen from those two guys.
We got a bunch of talent there on the edge. And again, I'm just always going to go back to what's our play style. Being that way 1,000 miles an hour every snap of the game. When those guys can bring it that way, it does a lot for our defense. And I saw a lot of good things from them the other night. And they've been competing their tail off every day out here in camp. And Matt Edwards has been on them. He's been grinding them. And they're responding to the coaching. So I've seen a lot of good things out of them so far this summer.
Oh, that's great if you can't slow the run. I'm not even saying stop it. If you can't slow the run, right? And you're not going to get in those pass rush type situations. So still a mystery of how good this team is going to be at the defensive tackle position.
No doubt.
Don't know yet. We got less than 5 weeks to find out, to get it all put together. More from Anthony Campanile coming up in the second hour of the program. Well, Tony will take us around the league as well. Other happenings in the National Football League. Your expectations for Trevor Lawrence, your Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. You can vote which one best fits your outlook if you go to @MD_1010XL on Twitter. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
It's coming, it's finally here. Are you ready for it? Yeah, we ready for it. Are you ready for it? Yeah, we ready for it. Then get ready for it.
1010XL.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest of Pros.
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest of Pros.
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to restofprosneflorida.com. That's restofprosneflorida.com.
Rest of Pros.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Fumbled your fender? EV took a hit? Guardian Collision is your MVP with certified expert auto body repair for any electric vehicle. Guardian Collision. They guard what moves you. Visit GuardianCollision.com.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Who says there's no free lunch? Join me, Prosser, and Jaguar and Gator legend Fred Taylor for free food and football talk Friday, August 8th at the Alhambra Theater. When you hear this...
Bye-bye. Brock Marionville chasing a 90-yard run.
Be caller 28 to win a pair of tickets to a free lunch with Fred. Doors open at 11. Jags talk, Gators talk, football talk, including a 1-hour Q&A with Freddie T, and we're buying your lunch. Stay tuned for this sound to win your tickets.
Bye-bye. Brock Marionville chasing a 90-yard run.
Courtesy of Jenkins Hyundai and Genesis of Jacksonville on Atlantic.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. And let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Baker Glass. The Jacksonville Jaguars are signing veteran defensive lineman Austin Johnson. He's a former second-round pick in the 2016 NFL Draft by Tennessee. After 4 years with the Titans, Johnson played 2 years with the Giants and 2 more years with the Chargers. 85 degrees at 10:59. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, the Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day wants to take your pulse on your expectations for Trevor Lawrence this year, coming off a good performance. You know, RJ just asked me on the break, Cody, do you put a lot of stock in preseason stats? I don't necessarily put a lot of stock in them, right? Mm-hmm. But I'll say this, for the ones who will poo-poo a good performance, if Trevor had been 8 for 27 on Friday night, you'd be killing him.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, give him credit where credit's due. Nobody's saying that he has now arrived as what he's going to be in the National Football League, but it's a positive step, even Liam Cohen said.
Yeah.
More explosive than maybe I anticipated, the offense in general, which is good. Rather than show up under those circumstances than on a random Tuesday out at practice.
No doubt.
Wouldn't hurt if tomorrow being a random Tuesday, since we're going to be out there doing the show, if they did that. All right, let's do this. I know you're going to take us around the league here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to set where the bar is, right? Like, in terms of how difficult it is to be a top 12 quarterback in the National Football League. I'm going to go around the table, and some of these will be blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
But I want guys that you say 3 categories. Clearly has proven more than Trevor Lawrence. No question. Clearly. Feel like at times I feel this guy's better, but at times I feel Trevor's better. Kind of on the same tier. Okay. And then guys that you think are clear, Trevor Lawrence is clearly better than at the moment. At least, and this is all how you feel.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily we're going crazy with stats or anything like that. It's more like, would I rather have this guy or that guy?
Yeah.
Are we going to homer up on it? You decide. But, I mean, some of these are obvious. Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Come on, right?
Yeah.
Josh Allen's better than Trevor Lawrence. Dylan Denmark, any dissension on
He's
that?
elite.
Drake May. I put him in the middle.
I'd put him in the middle.
Like, I don't think Trevor's clearly better than Drake May. I don't know if that.
I think he probably is, but it's not clear.
He might be, but I feel like, would it shock you if Drake May had a great year this year, a really good year, right? So I think they're kind of comparable quarterbacks right now. Is that fair? Everybody agree?
That's fine.
Tua.
Trevor's better.
Same thing.
Do you think Dylan thinks Trevor's better than Tua?
It's the middle category.
I put him in the middle category as well. I put him kind of in that Drake May bunch. Yeah, you could say, oh, look at the weapons he had. Well, you know, Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter, we're expecting them to be really good weapons as well.
Yeah.
And then Justin Fields.
Trevor.
I would put Trevor ahead of him as well. Now, that doesn't mean Justin Fields can't outplay him on a given day.
No.
But that's not what we're asking. All right. Joe Burrow.
Elite.
Super elite. Joe Burrow, right? Lamar Jackson, same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Super elite.
Easy.
Aaron Rodgers.
Right now.
Elite.
You put elite.
Like, I still think he's in that category.
Okay.
I think he's probably in the middle of that kind of race, like at the bottom end of that kind of thing. But even with what he did last year, when he was on the field, his numbers weren't bad.
No, they weren't bad. They weren't bad. You put him elite. Where do you put him, Dylan?
I'll have Aaron Rodgers slightly above Trevor.
Okay, so you said you're going to the question is he clearly a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence?
No, I'll say no.
You say no
this year.
Tony says yes.
Yes.
I'm just trying to define it. I'm not trying to talk you off your position. I think for my expectations for this year, Rodgers is going to be they're going to be in a similar bucket. Like, I don't put Rodgers on that sure thing. I got to think about it for a second. Like, Josh Allen, I don't need to think about.
No.
Lamar Jackson, don't need to think about. Burrow, don't need to think about. So I'm putting him on the second tier, and I think that's where Dylan ultimately ended up as well. All right, Browns, I'll take Trevor over anybody that the Browns are throwing out.
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel. You got to love the Dylans. Who else we got? That covers that division.
That's North, yep.
All right, Cam Ward.
Trevor.
I'm going to give Trevor the nod, right, until proven otherwise. All right, let's see. Whomever emerges in Indianapolis.
Trevor.
Trev.
Okay, I'm with you. All right, so Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud.
I think they're similar. I think Trevor's a little bit behind him right now.
Okay.
So I think Stroud is more comfortably in that middle category than many people thought last year.
I think you want another category between the middle and the super elite, but we're not going to give it to you. So I'm putting him in the same larger bucket with Trevor. I don't think that's
fine.
Like,
that's where I'd put him.
Right. I wouldn't say definitively Stroud's going to outperform Trevor Lawrence this year. That's how I feel. Maybe you all think we're crazy talking this nonsense, right? Let's see. Patrick Mahomes. All right. Let's write that one down for everybody. Let's see. Bo Nix.
He's at the top of that middle bucket for me.
All right.
Right.
In that range, right? Like, he could, but I got to see it more than 1 year. But yes, I would put I
wouldn't be surprised if Trevor is better than him this year. That wouldn't surprise me all that much. Right. But it's not like I'm going into it necessarily saying he's definitely better than him.
He's not on the Josh Allen, Mahomes kind of level.
No.
Right? Dylan, where you put him?
I think he's about the same as Trevor. The thing with Bo Nix is he has a lot better advantage with having Sean Payton as his coach and how they've built
Not
that
anymore,
roster.
baby.
So
we got Liam Cohen now.
Yeah.
Come on. Geno Smith.
Ooh.
I'm gonna put it the same
middle bucket.
I don't put you got Trev. All right, I'm gonna put middle bucket as well. And then Herbert.
Top end of the middle bucket, but middle bucket.
Yeah, me too. Everyone. So you're gonna go Herbert. I'm gonna put Dylan puts Herbert in the elite class, like a no doubt better. I'm with you. I think that statistically, yes, there are things you could point to. Last year, what was he like? 26-3 touchdown to interception ratio. Trevor also has beaten him head to head a couple of times, and I get it. It's not just a quarterback stat.
No, yeah.
All right, Jalen Hurts. I got to give it to Hurts.
Yeah.
Okay, Dylan. Yes. Jaden Daniels. I got to give it to Daniels as well. Even though we've only seen it for 1 year, it was so high end. Russell Wilson.
Trevor.
I'll take Trevor at this point. Yep, I would as well. All right, so that's Trevor. And then here's the tough one, Dak Prescott.
Same bucket.
Okay.
It's that middle bucket.
Yeah, you can't trust him being healthy or not, so you got to put him in that middle bucket.
But when healthy, assume that you can't trust Trevor to be healthy.
That's true.
So where do you put him? Same, higher?
Same.
I mean, I think peak Dak has been better.
Yeah.
But are we going to get peak Dak? I'm not sure.
The weapons will give him a chance to be.
Again, Trevor's in this middle bucket, and it's a big middle bucket, but there are a lot of guys ahead of him right now. I think we all put him
trying to define, exactly what that top class looks like, which is kind of the exercise we're doing here. I wouldn't put Dak in it.
I wouldn't either. Right. Would you put Goff in it?
For right now, yeah.
I would too. What about you, Dylan?
I'd have Goff better than Trevor.
All right, so Goff. What about J.J. McCarthy? I'm going to give Trevor sight unseen. We don't know anything about J.J. McCarthy at the pro level.
A lot of hype there, but
Caleb Williams. I'm going to put him in the same bucket.
Same bucket.
This may be Trevor actually a little ahead.
Yeah, they can have the exact same kind of conversation with Caleb that we're having right now in Chicago.
Dylan, same bucket, better?
Yeah, same bucket.
Same, okay. And then Jordan Love. I do the same thing. I think maybe last year we would have put him ahead, but I feel like
he's had incredibly high highs and low lows. There's times where he plays like a top 5 quarterback, and there's times where he's just
All right.
He's not locked into the top tier to me.
I think we made it through that whole division. Baker. I'm going to put Baker in the top bucket after last year. Yep. Right? At least, again, maybe towards the end of that bucket, but he's not I think he's ahead of Trevor right now.
Yeah.
Michael Penix. I don't know. I mean,
I'll say Trevor just because it's
so right now. But yeah, I'd put him in the bottom.
All right. Let's see. Anyone on the Saints? I'm going to give it to Trevor on this one. Tyler Shuck, Jake Hayner and company, and then Bryce Young.
Trevor. I'd put him in the middle bucket. Like, I'd take Trevor over him, but I'd put him in the middle bucket. I would
too. I'd put him more in the middle bucket because he played well down the stretch last year. It's a little recency bias. You're putting Trevor over him, Dylan?
Yeah.
Okay. Tony and I are going to be a little more conservative on that one. And then finally, in the West, Sam Darnold.
Trevor.
Okay, I'm gonna put Sam Darnold.
But it's the middle.
Such a good year.
Yeah, it's the middle bucket to me.
You have the middle bucket, right?
Yeah.
So that's
like when I say Trevor, I was saying they're same bucket as Trevor.
Okay. Same bucket as Trevor. Yeah. Okay. So Dylan, you're putting Trevor ahead of him. So.
Yeah, Sam Darnold had a perfect situation in Minnesota with really good offensive coach, playmakers around him. Now he's Seattle. He'll come back to earth.
Matt Stafford.
Elite.
Yeah, elite.
When healthy, I suppose. Yeah. All right. I'll join you guys, but I think that's one that a lot depends on health. Mm-hmm. Kyler.
Trevor.
Same bucket?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think Trevor's definitively better. You think Trevor's definitively better than Kyler?
Yeah, I mean, like if I had to pick one, Trevor or Kyler, I'm taking Trevor.
Okay.
I mean, they're probably closer to the same, like in the middle bucket, but.
Which bucket are you on? Middle?
The middle one.
Middle. All right. See if I hope I've kept score properly here. And then
Purdy. Same bucket.
That's a top end of that bucket, man. I'm going to put Purdy in the top range for me.
Okay.
You're going to put him in the middle.
I'll put him in the top.
You put him in the top as well. All right. So now, again, doesn't mean you can't outperform a guy that is ranked ahead of you, but I had 10 quarterbacks definitively better. And within the tier, there'd be other ones ranked ahead of him, right? You had 10 quarterbacks definitively better. Dylan had 11. Okay. So to break into that top 12, you're going to need to outplay everybody else that is on your level, near your level, even ahead of you. Mm-hmm. So it's a tough bar, right? That doesn't mean Purdy couldn't take a step back or some of these other guys might not take a step back. You and I both put 13 guys on the same level. Dylan has Trevor better than 12 guys in the National Football League. And I get it. Like, you can make those kind of decisions, and it's not outrageous at all, but I think there are at least 10 to a dozen quarterbacks that most in the league would say definitively, barring something shocking, we're going to think a year from now are going to be better than Trevor Lawrence as well. That's how I think most people would view it.
Yeah.
So breaking into that top 12, I think, would be a pretty good accomplishment. All right, you got to take a timeout. When we come back, Tony will take us around the league. We'll hear more from Jaguars defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile as well on Jaguars Today here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. He tackles talk radio like a middle linebacker in the gap.
I tell it like I see it, and I see it like a middle linebacker.
Tommy Mack. Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Jaguars Today.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning.
Scheduling was easy, and the tech showed up right on time.
From plumbing and septic to air conditioning, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
The judge swings the gavel, and I pound the hammer.
I'm not judging, just hammering. Hammer Time with Hayes Carlyon, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
On 1010XL, driven by Kia on Atlantic.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
It's hurricane season. Protect your home with 904 Gutters with a Z. That's right. Z as in zone defense for your home. Water damage hits hard. 904 Gutters with a Z hits back harder. Search 904 Gutters with a Z and make the right call.
Maxed out on credit card, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Hey, Jacksonville. It's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified, fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
This one on the text line. A few on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Trevor is not a top 20 quarterback. And that's your opinion, and he may not be, right? And again, Tony and I and Dylan averaged about 10 quarterbacks definitively better. Number of the guys we put in the same bucket, we said, well, yeah, they're in the same bucket, but like Bo Nix right now ahead. He's only had the 1 year, and it was a really good year. Yeah. I get it if you say, well, it hasn't been enough, but, he's on a pretty good trajectory after one season. Aaron Rodgers, I would do the same thing with. I don't put him in the – it's more about not putting a guy like that in the Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes bucket at this point in their career than it is about saying that Trevor's the equal to that guy. I've got 13 guys. You have 13 guys in that middle class. If Trevor could be number 12 out of 13, could be a number 11, could be number 10.
Yeah.
Which –
we talked about those guys as we were going through it. I don't have him anywhere near the bottom portion of that 13, but I think he's in that group.
I think he's somewhere maybe in the middle of that.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily definitive on a week-by-week basis. He'll outplay these guys sometimes. He'll, I don't put Justin Herbert necessarily in that top level, but I think most people would take Justin Herbert over Trevor Lawrence league-wide pretty easily. Now, you could point out, Trevor's beaten him twice. Oh, okay. There are all kinds of circumstances where, Eli beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. Does that make him the better quarterback? Even the better championship quarterback. Tom Brady's got 7 of those bad boys.
2 runs, yeah.
So, but he had 2 great runs, and had a lot of help from the other guys on his team. So it's not just about the wins and losses. So, theoretically, with the size of the middle class that we have, it's not that outrageous to think that Trevor is somewhere around 20, 21, 22, depending on personal preference. Dylan had 12, but you and I each had 8 guys that Trevor is definitively better than. Well, that only puts him, a better than a quarter of the league, definitively, that you think it's going to play out that way. It's going to show up that way. So another one, Stafford's never been elite. The national media had voiced that opinion darn near his whole career. I don't know what career you've been watching, quite frankly. I mean, Stafford on a bad team was a 5,000-yard passer, 40-touchdown passer. He's a Super Bowl champ. What to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl, and his head coach said, I need to do better.
I got to upgrade, and they did, and they brought him in, and they won the damn thing. And granted, he had Aaron Donald and all that, and that's fine. But I think Matthew Stafford had something to do with
they didn't get
Cooper
there
Kupp and
despite
Puka
Matt Stafford.
Nakua, putting up good numbers. And again, the thing with Stafford to me that holds him back is just, he's week to week. He's been missing a lot of training camp. So anyway, let's go around the rest of the NFL.
Now, gems around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach.
Indianapolis running back Savon Ahmed suffered a significant enough leg injury that it required an air cast on the field yesterday after a hip drop tackle from rookie undrafted free agent safety Trey Washington. Buffalo wide receiver Khalil Shakir is week to week with a high ankle sprain. Bills corner Maxwell Hairston is week to week with a knee sprain. Bills running back James Cook, who had been a full participant in the team's training camp up until yesterday when he didn't participate for the first time, answered business. When asked why he didn't practice and when asked if he would be back on the practice field today, he responded with the same one-word answer, business. Tom Pelissero reported that the two sides have been close for a while now to getting a deal done, and that this isn't necessarily a case of the negotiations having completely broken down as they continue to negotiate. So not a Micah Parsons situation there in Buffalo necessarily, it doesn't sound like. Pittsburgh linebacker Alex Highsmith left practice with some sort of groin injury that head coach Mike Tomlin said after practice will be getting further evaluation today. Detroit is hoping to only hold corner Terrion Arnold out for the first half of practice this week while he works through a minor hamstring injury. And Miami and defensive tackle Zach Seiler have agreed to a 3-year, $64 million contract extension with $44 million in guaranteed money.
All right, thank you, Tony. Again, I'm going in on Stafford. Stafford was literally known for being a turnover machine. His career, it's out there to know. Well, is it? Okay. Early in his career, did he have a lot of interceptions? Yeah. Did he offset him with a lot of touchdowns? His career, 377 touchdowns to 188 interceptions with a 91.2 quarterback rating.
I never heard about that reputation with him, really.
His first year, he threw 20 picks.
Yeah.
Okay, against 13 touchdowns. He had seasons in a row of 16, 17, and 19. He also threw 41, 20, and 29 touchdowns in those seasons to offset that. And 20 and 17's no great shakes. 41 and 16 in his fourth year in the league, throwing for 5,000 yards with a 97 quarterback rating is absolutely elite.
Yeah, you can make the same argument in that case that Josh Allen isn't really elite because he turned the ball over a lot. What are we talking about?
He turned the ball over as much as Trevor Lawrence in the last however many years.
Right.
They're the two most turnover-prone quarterbacks in the National Football League.
The scoring numbers are elite. For both those guys.
Clearly. I mean, but that's fine. You can feel that way. As recently as 2021, 41 touchdowns, 17 picks. You'd take 17 picks with 41 touchdowns if you're throwing for 48, 86, and 103 quarterback rating. I mean, and that's what he did. Yeah. So, that's fine. Perhaps someone who's not a big fan of the Georgia Bulldogs sending that in. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Yeah. All right, let's get to a few thoughts from Anthony Campanile here. Where are we at? We're going to start with Cut 5, just going into some individual players, and not only on their performance on Friday night, but just in general. Starting with Dawuane Smoot, what does he bring to this Jaguar defense?
Yeah, he's got a bunch of value because, he's a 3-down type of guy. So, he can play early down. He can play, obviously, in the pass rush situations. He can move around. Super smart guy when it comes to the rush. Has done a bunch of that, coordinating that in his history as a player in this league. So, and he's a super coachable guy. You know what I mean? Tough guy. So, I like him. I like being around him. He brings a lot to us.
I don't know what he actually weighs right now, but Dawuane Smoot's listed here at Our Lads at 6'3", 275. Right? When he says he's an early down guy, well, clearly that would mean he can stop the run, right? And he has the ability to play inside. I think he has the ability to shift into a lot of spots. I don't know how much I want Dawuane Smoot playing on an every down interior role if he really is 275, Tony. But again, that weight could be off by 15 pounds
Who
for all
knows
we
what
know.
he's at now,
right?
yeah.
But he is a guy. He's a guy that coaches love, hard worker, versatile. We talk about Liam Cohen wanting to target, and James Gladstone, obviously a big part of this, targeting versatility on the offensive line. That's what Smoot brings to the defensive line.
Yeah, I would love if they would update those numbers, but they are under no requirement.
No, they generally don't.
Right. They know what the number is. That's what they have, right? It's in-house measurements on all of these guys. Coach Camp was also asked about Devin Lloyd, who we heard DRock earlier with us this morning talk about a blitz that he had at one point on Friday night in the scrimmage that was very successful. Well, Coach Camp was asked about the versatility of Lloyd.
I think he's done a really good job moving around. We try to move him around with his alignments. He does some different things based on, what the down and distance or situation is for us. So he's done a good job. He's kind of taking on all those roles and running with it. He's a smart football player and a guy that I said in the spring, he's kind of always doing extra, always hanging around the building, trying to watch tape, ask questions. And you really need to be one of those guys when you have like a multiple, when you're asked to do multiple roles out there,
And again, a lot of guys being asked to do multiple things. We see Devin Lloyd flash, and I get 50 people on social media telling me this is the year that he's going to be. He'll be your third pass rusher. Look, I'm not opposed to it if Anthony Campanile could come up with some creative schemes to get him in the backfield. But I do feel like the Jags are better situated from a depth-wise circumstance when Gardeck is fully ready to go. He didn't play in the scrimmage on Friday, but he is activated for practice now, and with Agba in there as well, with Smoot, what he can bring, if you can get a little sprinkling of Devin Lloyd, and those are all the guys behind your two primary edge rushers. Anthony Campanile on the guy that we are contractually obligated to speak about every 5 minutes. I kid, but Travis Hunter, what did he see from him playing both sides in this scrimmage?
Yeah, we kind of had that set in motion, where he was going to be. But he does a lot of that in practice, you know what I mean? One period he may be with us, next period is with them. Some days he may start on defense, then he's working offense. His meeting schedule is very much like that. So, like I said, the last time I was up here, he's done a really good job with that. And I think Liam's done a great job coordinating that. It's been demanding on him, but he's responded in every way.
Yeah, and that's more like a general, we got a plan. He's doing it. It's amazing to see. I want to hear more about his footwork is great. His breaks on the ball are fantastic. He's really picked up the defense. And I'm not saying that those things aren't true.
Yeah.
That's more of what I'm interested in hearing, though.
Right. Like it is at a point, though, still in the Travis Hunter thing that we don't, even the questions being asked don't ask for details. And so it's still just a marvel. It's like, can you believe it?
Yeah, this guy.
Right.
See this guy?
Right. Like, look at this.
You realize that when if you're looking for him, he might be in the other colored jersey.
Did you see him? He played offense for the first half, and then he was on the field with y'all.
Did you see that?
That's nuts what we're seeing. At some point, those kind of questions will be asked, I'm sure. Just haven't gotten to it yet. They did sign another corner for the room over the weekend. Levi Wallace being added to the team, and Coach Camp was asked about what he brings to the roster.
Just another veteran guy who's had success in his career. I think that's whenever you can have that or add that to your roster, it's important and obviously helpful. He's got a wealth of knowledge playing in a bunch of systems, and he's just a good, high-character guy. He's a good football player.
Well, but timing, you always got to worry or wonder about timing. Timing is everything in life, they say. It's not everything, Tony, but it's pretty important. Why now, right?
How serious is the Braswell injury?
Right, Braswell, you got Monteric, you got, so that's kind of like you didn't make this move a month ago.
No.
And granted, I get it. You churn the bottom of the roster. Guys get released. Dennis Daly decided to hang it up, for instance, and so you go in another direction. And
it's awful hot. I don't blame them.
But they brought in Austin Johnson to play on the defensive line. And that at least makes you wonder, what is the timetable on Eric Armstead? All right, we're going to hear from Tyson Campbell coming up here in just a few minutes. But first, Anthony Campanile on the guy that everyone is saying who've been around for any period of time is probably having his best offseason with the Jags.
I think he's a really competitive guy at the point of attack. There's a guy who's had success in this league, and he loves to be coached. It doesn't matter. Like, he's never really sitting still. If he's got downtime, he's doing drill work. he goes out there and tries to compete against our best players every day, challenges himself, always asking questions, and is certainly demanding of himself. Critical in the most positive way, watching his technique every day and trying to get better. So those are the guys you love coaching. You're fortunate to have a guy like I'm fortunate to have a guy like that.
Well, I had a pass breakup versus Brian Thomas in practice yesterday, and hopefully that, the old iron sharpens iron thing will play out, that going up against the likes of Brian Thomas and somewhat against Travis Hunter and De'Ami Brown in practice gets Tyson Campbell ready. I don't think it's a question of ability. I think it's a question of health. Stay healthy. I think if Tyson Campbell stays healthy, most people are anticipating the best year of his young career. Be great if he could get his hands on a half dozen footballs and take them away from the other team. It'd be great if anybody could do that.
Knock away 20. That'll make up for it.
That would be good, too.
Yeah.
Knock away a bunch. But, man, this team needs turnovers. We need some short fields. We need some easy scores. We need, let's
be nice.
Let's make things easier on this team as a whole. 9 turnovers is pathetic for a professional team over the course of a full season, which is where they were last year. So Tyson Campbell himself, he will weigh in on everything that's been going down, including his impressions of Jordan Lewis, who has been starring in camp, had an interception on Friday night as well. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Dreamfinders Homes, Monday.
On Jaguars Today.
Experience the Jacksonville Rock Orchestra as they bring to life the legendary sound of Journey.
Took the midnight train going anywhere.
Feel the power of Faithfully. Rock out to Wheel in the Sky and sing every word of Don't Stop Believing. Friday, August 8th at the historic Florida Theater. One epic night of the Jacksonville Rock Orchestra featuring Journey. Get your tickets at floridatheater.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, got a minute?
Always. What's on your mind?
This time of year, my air conditioner is running non-stop. Hot all day, hot all night. It has to run constantly just to keep up.
Well, that's what they do.
But if something happens to it in the middle of a 2-week heat wave, I'm in trouble, Jason. I can't wait 3 days or 2 days or even the next day for service. If you can't get someone here today, I'm sweating by tonight. What if it breaks, Jason?
You call me, pal. That's what we do. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
But you're probably swamped with calls from everyone else's AC that ran nonstop and then broke in a heat wave, so they called you because that's what you do.
But we always have room for an emergency. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we have techs standing by because we know these things happen.
So I don't need to worry. Wow. That time you calmed me down without even using the sunglasses.
Oh, I was reaching for them.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, they may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and $2.95.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
He's been a heck of a vet, a guy that's played in this league for a long time and has been successful. So just picking his brain, fun guy to be around, great personality, brings a lot of energy each and every day.
Make plays. That's Tyson Campbell on Jordan Lewis. Make plays, right? Like all this about his attitude, Tony's got an edge, right? He brings it out. The competitiveness. This guy competes as much as anybody. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And I like to hear that, particularly in a cornerback, right? Because you got to have that short memory.
Yeah.
You're going to get burned sometimes.
Made a couple plays on Friday, including the pick. Yeah.
Including the diving interception. So, show up and do that. That's fantastic. Don't just be a rally the troops guy. Have an impact on the field. Reading a lot of stuff this weekend, Dan Graziano said that, one thing in Dallas was that defensively, people felt like Jordan Lewis was tough to game plan for because of his versatility. He could line up in a lot of different spots. We're seeing that here with the question of, is he going to be your primary outside corner along with Tyson Campbell in base defense and then just slide inside to nickel? But he ain't afraid, and you got to have that in a corner. I think, Travis Hunter, I think if you give everybody the perfect ecosystem and, 2 years to develop, Travis Hunter's the best talent that you have in that secondary. And Tyson Campbell should be right up there just in terms of what they can do as cornerbacks. Jarian Jones has had a great offseason. At least he got shouted out again by Liam Cohen. He's had some big plays in practice. He looks motivated, ready to come in and compete for playing time at the outside. Monteric was having a pretty good camp, but now he's down for a while. So, we'll see what Levi Wallace brings to the team. But Jordan Lewis is going to be a mainstay of this defense if the early indications are to be believed. So, if you hear from Tyson Campbell on just how challenging it's been, the ups and downs, been injured, the team hasn't had the success that they wanted, got off to the great start in 23 and then faded. So, how much of a challenge have the last 2 seasons of Jaguar football been for Tyson Campbell?
I'm grateful for it. It's allowed me to be mentally tough. It's allowed me to be present and learn to be where my feet are and realize what God is trying to teach me in each and every moment so that, when I know the trouble don't last always, so when I do get through the storm, I'm mentally, mature and mentally strong, to go through anything. So I'm grateful for it. It's behind me. I'm being present and excited for this year.
Yeah, Tyson Campbell obviously has had to deal with the difficulties of a couple of years where the hamstrings just wouldn't stay underneath him, right, for the last couple of years. Hopefully he doesn't have to deal with that this year. And as you said, Demps, I think he's got a chance to be not the most elite player in the league at the position, but among the, that top 10 or 15. I certainly think he's got that kind of talent. He's just not been healthy enough the last couple of years to get back there. He was that guy in 22. It just hadn't happened for him the last couple of years. Tyson Campbell, along those kind of lines, also talked a little bit about what he's done to change kind of his offseason training, maybe lessons learned from the ways the last couple seasons have gone.
I would say I did kind of up it a little bit more. I added a couple pounds of muscle. I'm 205 now, so feeling good at that. I changed a little bit, but pretty much kept it the same. Just try to work on speed, strength, mobility, and keeping my diet clean as well.
Mobility, flexibility, right? I mean, when I say flexibility, just again, the hamstrings. Just I'm not. What do I know about sports medicine, Tony?
Yeah.
Not a damn thing, right? But I know that there are guys that have had chronic issues like that have been able to overcome them.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying it's like sometimes it's just bad luck of the draw. I just think this is so important. I'm with you. If Tyson Campbell can stay healthy and play to his potential, he can be looked at as a top 15 corner in football. Is he going to be on the Sauce Gardner level? No, I don't think he will. But can he be a true number one that you look and you say, okay, this guy's going to give whomever he's lined up across from some issues? I'm not saying he's shutting down Jamar Chase, right? But he showed you what he could do against Justin Jefferson last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's been a little bit maddening. Like the peak, Tyson Campbell's really good. The consistency hasn't always been there. The health hasn't always been there. Hopefully those two things will be issues of the past. And we've been asking all these guys on defense what they think about Campanile, and most of them are just like, hey, it's fantastic, love the energy, da-da-da-da-da, right? And you hear that with a new coach all the time. In fact, when I hear Tyson Campbell say I added a few pounds, I'm sure that was of his own volition, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think we're going down that Ryan Nielsen beef them all up road again. You got a lot of guys in particular that have dropped weight that are having fantastic training camps because Ryan Nielsen had a vision for how he wanted his guys to look and play, and it didn't fit with what he had.
No.
And what do you always hear? The good coaches adapt their scheme to their players. Yeah, we've got a basic structure, but we got to capitalize on what you do well and put you in position to do those things. But this time, Tyson Campbell, after the scrimmage on Friday night, was asked about the head guy and how Liam Cohen is impacting this football team.
Oh, it's been great, man. A guy with a lot of energy, a great coach, smart coach, and is very accountable. Each day we're going over mistakes that the offense had made or the defense had made, and we're seeing it as a team and learning, how we can correct those mistakes going into the next day. So it's just building accountability around the group and around the team so that each day we know what we got to fix and make sure we don't make them again.
Again, you hear guys like Surse and McManus, who are regularly on 1010XL, talk about you got to have that accountability. They are big proponents of having it come from the locker room, right? Mm-hmm. And having guys hold each other accountable. But there always is that element. You get in a film session. Are you willing to lay a guy out? The Patriots did it probably as a point of emphasis to find a mistake by Tom Brady and, reportedly just kill him about it to show that if I can do it to him,
yeah,
the rest of you are not above this kind of criticism. And you got to be able to take it. You got to be a big boy and sit in there and look, because when you screwed up. And that, we've heard Tom over the years tell us so many times that was what you dreaded, was that film session on Monday when you knew you blew something and it was coming down on you like a ton of bricks. So, according to Tyson Campbell, that's what Liam Cohen is at least trying to establish.
Yeah.
And as well you should.
Yeah, that is a motivating factor to never do it again. I'm not going to have to watch a video where I'm doing that again.
Right. Negative reinforcement. Yeah. I don't want to hear it,
Like that kind of thing, yeah, it's a good teaching tool. Use it.
So anyway, Tyson Campbell, health, if it's there, hopefully he's among the better players at his position. Hopefully, right? We always try to, or maybe we don't try to, but we tend to look through the most optimistic lens because I want to look at and say Trevor Lawrence can be a top 12 quarterback, and here are the reasons why. Yes, he could be a middle-of-the-pack quarterback, where he's pretty much been for most of his career, but I'm hopeful that this is where he can get to. Hoping and expecting, not necessarily the same thing. We'll take a look at what you expect from Trevor Lawrence and tell you where we think he will end up as well. The Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day: what kind of season do you expect from T-Law this year? Is it Pro Bowl, meaning he earns it, top 3 in the AFC? Is he top 12 among all quarterbacks in the league? Is he middle of the pack? Think of that 13 to 20, or is he somewhere in the bottom third of quarterbacks when the dust settles this year? Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark back for one more here on Jaguars Today, straight ahead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Got a leak or a clog? Or are old galvanized pipes causing low water pressure? At Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, we don't just fix plumbing issues. We solve them for good. And unlike other plumbers in the area, Superior Plumbing and Pipelining will never charge you to diagnose a problem. From simple plumbing repairs to trenchless pipelining, our estimates are free. And we can reline your cast iron pipes without making a mess of your yard. You have many choices for plumbing work. Make the superior choice. Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. Request a free estimate at superiorplumbingjax.com.
Jaguars Today Monday is built by Dream Finders Homes.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If a storm impacts our area, JEA is ready to respond. Our team of over 2,000 employees is prepared to move in when the storm moves on. Once restoration efforts begin, we won't stop until everyone is back online. And we'll keep you informed with real-time updates at JEA.com and the MyJEA app. We're ready for storm season and want you to be too. Visit JEA.com/storm to learn what you can do now to prepare.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. As temperatures warm up around us, ants come out in droves. And when they move into your home or business, it's unnerving. Terminix knows that ants add up fast, but Terminix subtracts them faster because living with ants isn't any fun. When ants show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with an ant problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, this, Tony, in response to, I guess, us deciding Trevor Lawrence right now is kind of a middle-of-the-pack quarterback, which he has been in the National Football League. Does he have some elite traits? Absolutely. On Twitter, never talk about my quarterback again. Disgraceful segment. Disgraceful segment. All right, so I guess you've got Trevor as clearly, I don't know, top 3 in the league. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like, it's okay to objectively look at where he has been and where we expect him to be. You know, I would just say toughen up, okay?
Yeah.
Toughen up.
He hadn't played like that yet.
Never talk about my quarterback again. How dare you hurt my feelings and not say Trevor's the best at everything.
Right. Like, you can't listen to what I've been saying on this show since they drafted him, especially this offseason, and not hear that I've expressed my confidence that he is going to take a big jump this year. I believe it. I believe that Trevor's going to have a big jump this year, but there's room to jump because he hasn't gotten there yet.
It's just honestly the level of I don't know what the word for it is that you would be disturbed by anything we had to say.
I believe in Trevor Lawrence. That doesn't mean that I'm ignorant to what has not worked here recently for Trevor Lawrence. It's stupid not to at least acknowledge it.
I will say this. Look, you can be as optimistic as you like. Anybody voting that Trevor is top 3 in the AFC this year? I mean, you've heard of Burrow and Mahomes and Allen and Lamar. I mean, I think that bar is so high. I didn't even look at that category in terms of voting for this. So, Dylan, if you would, why don't we fire up today's 10-10 take?
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
I think this would have been a lot easier for me if the option was top 15, like top 6, the top half of the league quarterback, because that's kind of where I think Trevor Lawrence will be. And I think many people would say he's already there. But others would say, well, is he really better than this guy, that guy, the other guy, what have you? I think top 12 is a tall task. We had 10 guys definitively ahead of him, probably another 5 or 6 in that tier ahead of him. So is he going to jump all those guys? I'd probably say he's more in that 13 to 15 range. He's kind of the top of the middle of the pack, which can be good enough to win a lot of football games. Could he take that leap like Baker Mayfield did? Yes. I'm hopeful that he does. I'm trying not to be just, teal-colored glasses and expecting that every box is going to get checked. Do I hope for that? Do I root for that? Of course. Do I hope that Travis Hunter is the revelation of the National Football League and that he scores 10 touchdowns and he has 8 interceptions? Yes. Is it likely that he has that kind of impact as a rookie? I don't think so. All right. So I would probably go like the upper crust of the middle of the pack with a great chance to get to the top 12. But I can't sit here and tell you today that I expect him to be a top 12 quarterback in the National Football League. I'm hopeful. Yeah. I don't know if that's I think hope and expectation are two different things.
Yeah, as we get closer and closer to the season actually being here, right? We're 5 days away from them playing a preseason game against the Steelers. So it's getting here on us, and I haven't seen or heard anything at training camp that makes me feel like the offensive line has actually taken some massive leap forward. Right? Like, I just haven't. I think they're better than they were last year, but I don't think it's even, when we were having the discussions about what is kind of the peak for what they could be, and we were talking about that group being a, top 10 to 12 unit in the league, day by day, as we go through training camp practices and everything that's happening with that group, I'm becoming less and less confident of that being the actual outcome for the football team this year, that the offensive line is ready to take that kind of step forward. I think there is something to Liam Cohen and his offense opening up opportunities for Trevor Lawrence. So I'm very solidly the middle of the pack as the option here. I think if the offensive line actually does play to what we talked about they could potentially play to this year, I do think he's going to be among the 12 best. I think Liam Cohen's offense is going to allow him to be that this year, but I'm not all that confident that the offensive line has actually improved enough for that to happen for the team this year. The Tampa offensive line is great. That's why they were able to run the ball, do a bunch of the different stuff they did. They took a significant step forward in that department. I think the Jaguars are going to take a step forward. I don't think it's as significant as we thought it might be a month ago. I'm just not as confident in that side of it for me, so I would vote middle of the pack.
Let's see. Pro Bowl top 3 in the AFC got 19%. I think that's very bullish. Top 12 among all quarterbacks, 62.5%. So massive majority of people went in that direction. Middle of the pack pulling 17, and only 3 or 4 people think he'll end up, or their expectation is that he'll be considered in the bottom third of quarterbacks, which basically we define as 21 through 32. That middle of the pack. Look, there's a big difference to me that if you're 13 or 14 pushing up on the top 12, then you are 19 or 20 and trying to tread water above the dregs of the National Football League, and
that's kind of where I think the base is for Trevor, is more in that 13 to 15 kind of range is where I think he could wind up. I think if I had to grade the potential of him being in the top 12, I'd probably, put it somewhere around like a 35, 40% chance. Like, I don't think it's all that far off that he can get to that kind of thing, but I don't think it's what I would vote as the most likely outcome.
All right, our time is done for today. We'll be out live at practice after training camp tomorrow, but right now we're ready to hand it off to XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Matt Hayes is here. Hello, Matt. How are you?
Good morning, fellas. I'm watching the Little League World Series softball, and they have replay in it. Replay.
Oh, do they?
They do.
All right.
Is the NFL watching?
I don't know, but I think it's interesting. That's all.
All right. Well,
Just think it's interesting.
I have just caught it out of the corner of my eye, so I haven't really, I guess, noticed any of the particulars there. Matt, observations, I'm sure, today from the in-stadium scrimmage / mock game will be heavy on the agenda.
That will be the agenda. We'll break down Friday's scrimmage and what the future looks like.
How much weight
the near future?
When Trevor Lawrence has a good performance, which by all accounts he played very well. Liam Cohen was happy. Talked about the explosive plays that they haven't necessarily been showing up every day, but they did in that setting, which is where you'd want to see them. How much weight do you give a performance like that?
So I look at it this way. We've seen 4 years of it, and there's been all different kind of problems with pieces around him, with the offensive line, whatever you want to say. So I'm going to reserve till I see the actual games. He looked good, no doubt about it. I'm just going to reserve.
All right, Matt's taking the next 5 weeks off. Everybody,
there's a little reserve. I think there's a little reserve in a lot of these guys. Like, we keep hearing De'Ami Brown looks fantastic, and I'm like, he had 13 catches last year.
I understand.
We keep hearing Tyson Campbell's in his best shape of his career, and every camp we say Tyson Campbell is in the best shape of his career.
I don't know. I feel like that's more of a new phenomenon to me, that everyone universally is saying Tyson Campbell looks poised for a breakout season. I could be wrong about it.
All I'm saying is I think it's just I like the way it's headed. I don't think how you couldn't like the way it's headed if you're a Jags fan. But I'm just going to reserve until I see, like, week 1. Let's see how it plays out and how these guys look.
Well, we all do. I'm going to reserve till we get to week 18, Tone, and then I can reflect on how good of a season the Jags have had.
I'm not jumping in the deep end yet. Let's put it that way.
Neither am I. I'm just saying, but it is, put it this way. If he fell on his face on Friday night, there'd be a lot of people that would be jumping in the
100%.
The shallow end, would that be? All
right. My initial answer to you was, well, it's better than the alternative.
Obviously.
Right.
All right. Have a good show, Matt.
Right, thanks,
Appreciate it. All right. XL Primetime coming your way for the next couple of hours. That'll do it for us. Thanks to Mike DeRocco of ESPN for joining with his thoughts. Again, we'll be out there at the final training camp practice that is open to the public, doing our show live from 10 to noon tomorrow at the Miller Electric Center. For Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Thank you for listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL. And